We are lasering up this meme right now. Light them up with those lanterns. Can we take them down? We ran out of ammo. Go behind cover while we reload. Light them up with that built-in cannon. Here we go. Oh, Titan Slayer. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. We got another one. Titan Slayer. Boom!
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. This is Tony, and welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to be bringing you guys some test server footage of a lot of the rebalances that are going to be hitting the game in the 7.9 update. We're going to be testing out the Hemdall, the new Titan, the new Blackout drone, or the new Whiteout drone, I'm sorry, and all the other things. But mostly this video is for, I want to tell you the things that most of the other YouTubers are not going to tell you. First and foremost, I like to be 100% transparent and honest with you guys. And I'm going to tell you straight out right now that this update is not going to be as bad as you guys think. Hold on, before you guys get all whipped up into a frenzy, please understand where I'm coming from. A lot of these other channels are predicated on whipping you up into an emotional frenzy, on negativity, on drama, and all this other kind of stuff. That's not what I do. What I do is I give you guys the realistic outlook and tell you guys what's really happening. This update, honestly guys, it's nothing we haven't been through before, and to be honest with you, there's only one robot that's really getting nerfed, and that's the Fafnir. And I don't think anybody can argue that that thing hasn't been the most menacing robot we've seen in a very long time. Another thing to keep in mind, these adjustments aren't just happening to you guys, they're happening to everybody's hanger. And believe me, I have every single item that's getting adjusted, good and bad. So you would think that I would be angrier than anybody because I have multiples of all the things catching a quote-unquote nerf. But it is what it is. Anyways, I'm going to break this down. You guys could watch this gameplay. All these things are getting adjustments, either buffs or nerfs that I'm playing, so you guys get to see that in action. And I'm going to go through the update 7.9 rebalance notes, and I'm going to break it down section by section, and I'm going to tell you guys how I feel about all of it. First and foremost, I want to let you guys know this is the, look, and it even says it on the top, this is the first run of balance changes. Likely a lot of these values will be tweaked and changed before that update hits. There's 4 weekends of test servers we need to go through. That's our opportunity to test these things out, leave our feedback. Pixonic can look at the numbers and see what's going on. So take this all with a grain of salt. This is not concrete, and this is not all going to happen the way it says right here. And a lot of these things are not as bad as they seem. So, okay, it says, with update 7.9, we're introducing a number of balance adjustments with 2 major goals in mind. Tone down the current dominant T4 robots to be more in line with the rest of the roster, make certain items less must-have in any given build, unlocking other options for consideration. That is very, very nice. Let's take a look down, because I know you guys have seen this already. You guys know Fafnir is safe, Typhon, Erebus, Siren, Harpy, safe for now, Mender, safe for now, Demeter, safe for now. Let's take a look at the actual items that are being nerfed. So first and foremost, we're talking about the Fafnir. Speed and flight reduced approximately 100 down to 63.5. Built-in weapon damage bonus capped at 200%, which is great because now it is limitless. Built-in weapons damage bonus against Titans reduced from 220% down to 150. Fafnir's unmatched flight speed was designed to be a main advantage of this robot. However, it proved to be too much of a challenge for its opponents on the ground. The process of aiming Fafnir could be unpredictable when it's cruised around with above your robot. We partially addressed the issue in the 7.7.7 aiming tweaks, but it obviously needed more tweaking. With reduced speed, Fafnir will be exposed for a longer period, entering the blind zone and shrugging off target lock. Fafnir's built-in absorber shield does not have a damage bonus limit, with players shooting the shield against their better judgment. This robot could be virtually unstoppable. We're capping the damage bonus from the absorber from 200. Fafnir still obliterates, just with more skill needed to apply. That was neat. That was a monstrosity. It dominated the battlefield. Absolutely insane. Absolutely ridiculous. I actually protested the last 2 months. I have not used that robot just for that very reason. The Revenant. Durability reduced by 10%. Ability damage mitigation reduced 99% to 90. Side shields durability increased by 10%. Not a big deal, not a big nerf. Still going to be meta, still going to be widely used. I don't think anything's changing in this. The shields getting a buff is making up for the damage lost on the robot, and use those things accordingly. So all in all, not really bad of a nerf at all. So you guys, could sleep safe at night about that one. Orochi stealth duration from 5 seconds down to 4. Ability cooldown increased from 18 to 22. Just gonna have to play a little more cautiously, but again, not a huge change. The duration, 1 second, may not notice that. In the cooldown, that extra 4 seconds, you will definitely notice that, but just have to play it a little more cautiously. You can't be as aggressive with it. I think it'll still do just fine. The Hawk reflector damage mitigation reduced from 85 down to 70%. I actually wish, like, across the board they would increase the damage mitigation on the Harpy and the Siren, because I know when I'm in the Siren and I'm flying in the sky with my reflector shield, things melt right through me and I get zapped down like instantly. And with the Hawk going from 85 down to 70, it's going to be similar to those robots, and I'm worried the same thing's going to happen. When you're in the sky, you're going to get zapped down really quickly. But all in all, it's only 15%. It's not huge. So maybe instead of like all those offense builds, you may have to run something with defense on there to deal with that, since you'll be a little bit more vulnerable in the sky. Shell durability reduced by 10%. Side shield durability increased by 10%. So it's like an even trade. There's a nerf and there's a buff in there. Not a big deal. Doesn't change what the shell is, doesn't change what the shell does. You're still going to be able to do all the things, and that's like the common theme with the shell, the Hawk, the Orochi, the Revenant, the Fafnir. You're still going to be able to play them, and you also have to keep this in mind. Like, these adjustments, they're going to be tweaked a little bit before that update comes. And also, most importantly, this isn't only happening to your hangar. This happens to everyone's hangar. This happens to your opponent's hangar, so everyone is having to deal with this. It's not like this is just happening to you and you're going to have to fight opponents who didn't get nerfs either. It just is what it is. And we actually got lucky last year. We only had a couple minor adjustments. We used to get several. We used to get almost every single update we'd have some type of adjustment, and then like 3 or 4 like huge rebalances per year. Last year we didn't go through any of that, so that was nice. We got to enjoy our stuff for a very long time without any nerfs and stuff like that. Now onto the weapons. Snare, Scotty, Hell. Ammo capacity reduced from 50 down to 40. Full reload interval increased from 10 to 15. That's longer, but these are extremely dominant weapons. Anti-control does not block the freeze effect, so you're out there getting frozen left, right, and center. Everybody's running these. It's so annoying to go to center beacon on Canyon, because you're sitting there, you cap the beacon, and then you're getting lasered down by 5 opponents with these things. These weapons are crazy. So I support this. I like this nerf. It's good. It's not a huge nerf. It doesn't kill these weapons, but you're not going to be able to dominate as you once did with these weapons. Just a little more cautious. That's it. That's all. You're still going to be able to laser people down, but just not in quick succession like you could now. This one I kind of don't understand. The Toxin Venom Bane, corrosion damage reduced by 25%. I already don't use these weapons because of the Revenant. If you're in a brawling situation, more than likely a Revenant is going to be in the mix there somewhere, fighting for a major beacon. And while the Revenant isn't his ability, he's immune to DOT, which the majority of damage comes from these weapons, from their DOT. So reducing that by 25, I mean, I don't think anyone's going to even want to use these anymore. So I think that may be a bit overkill because I have already taken those out of my hanger. So not quite sure about that one. Blaze Igniter Ember, ammo capacity reduced from 200 down to 150. And the AOE radius increase from 7 to 9 meters. So it got a buff with the AOE radius, but a nerf with the ammo capacity, which is very interesting. I love my flames. They're reducing the ammo, but you're going to be missing a lot less of your flames because of that AOE buff. So we'll have to see how this plays out. I'll give you guys more feedback once we test this on the test server a couple times and see how it really performs out there. Nuclear Amplifier stack accumulation rate decreased. 1 stack per 20,000. Now it's for every 25,000 damage dealt. Damage bonus per stack reduced from 0.1% to 0.08%. Maximum number of stacks increased from 80 to 95. Defense mitigation bonus increased from 20 to 25. So now it says, so are we going to have 95 stacks? Wow. Okay, so it's just going to take a little bit longer, but you had 5% more defense mitigation with that. So that's actually really interesting. Really interesting. Scorcher Incinerator, damage increased by 10%. This was very much needed. Scorcher is not a very good medium weapon. I've really never cared for that medium weapon at all. So that is definitely needed. The Incinerator is nice, so I'll take that 10% damage boost on the Incinerator all day. I would love to see that. The Puncher, the one everybody is going on and on about. I'm going to tell you something, guys. Punchers were awesome before the particle spread buff. Now that they're removing that particle spread buff, they will still be awesome. I'm letting you guys know right now, guys. So maybe just instead of being able to laser people out to 500, you keep your engagements, within that 400, 350 range, and you don't have to worry about missing too many shots. So it's still going to be good. Keep your fights closer range if possible. Face to face is the best. So if you can get up in their face like a can of mace and deal it out that way, that's the way I would go. But guys, punchers will still be good, trust me. Other tweaks. Small changes are supposed to reinvigorate the lower league gameplay. However, some of them might also have a slight impact on our higher leagues. This I'm excited about. All the old robots and weapons. I have recently upgraded all of these old robots, and I've already done these weapons not knowing they were going to get a buff. I upgraded them. The past couple months I've been on my journey to upgrade every single robot in the game. So Lancelot, movement speed 36 to 38 kilometers per hour, very nice. Jaeger, movement speed increased from 58 to 60. Sniper mode is sped up. I think that robot is going to need a little bit more love for people to make people want to use it. I don't know exactly what could be done to it, but more needs to be done with that one. Wayland, ability defense bonus increased from 30 to 40. Very nice. Wayland is already very strong, so that is a huge deal for the Wayland. Phantom, ability defense bonus increased from 50 to 55. Phantom is already a good robot, so that is awesome to hear. Very excited about that. Bulwark, Aegis shield durability increased by 10%. That's great, but with all the shield breaking going on out there, you can increase it by 40%, and I don't think it's going to make a difference because shielded robots are always going to suffer with all the shield breaking going on out there. So I don't think this is going to help much. Perhaps the physical shield buff and an overall durability buff would suit this thing a little bit better, but we'll see. Raijin, shield durability increased by 20%. Very nice. 20% on its physical shield. That is very nice. Mercury, durability increased by 10%. For the Mercury, I would actually love to see a little bit of a speed increase and a jump distance increase. And I'm not trying to sound greedy, but maybe even a little tiny bit more damage for the Mercury splash. And that's, in my mind, in the perfect world, I think that's how the Mercury should operate. A little more speed, a little more distance on the jump, and just a tad bit more damage on that ability, and it would be right in that butter zone. Raker, durability increased by 10%. Invader durability increased by 10%. Shocked at the Invader. It has one of the highest HPs in the game, especially when you kit it out with heavy armor kits. Not sure, why, but hey, whatever. That's cool. I'll take it. Tier repair capacity increased by 15%. That's huge. That's awesome. That's great. Love to see that. Tier is a fun old robot. Battleborn effect duration increased from 20 to 25 seconds. That's cool, but I still don't think that's going to make anybody want to use it. The fact that it's a one-time use kind of takes it off the board for a lot of people. Maybe if it had like a 45-second cooldown where it could reactivate again, if you stayed alive, I think that would be awesome, and that's the only way people would consider, exchanging some of the other high-value modules to run that. So, Battleborn, I doubt many more people will start using that. Nitro unit deactivation threshold lowered from 70 to 60%. That's an awesome start. I would love to see this eventually end up at like 30 or 40%. I think then people would start considering to use it and it would have some value, but it's great that they are starting again. Like I said, guys, these are the initial tweaks, and then even after the 7.9 update, they could potentially increase these values and continue to give incremental buffs down the road. Trebuchet's full reload interval increased from 23 down to 18. I think they could drop that down to 15, and it wouldn't make that huge of a difference. I would love to see that 15. That would be fun to run those Trebs again. Magnetar damage increased by 15%. I am so happy to see this. Magnetar is one of the worst light weapons in the game. The damage output is very poor. It shoots at a very slow rate. It is not a competitive weapon with the other alternatives out there right now. So this is awesome to see. I have 4 of those bad boys. I maxed out, played one time for a video, and never touched them again. So I'm very excited to try that out once 7.9 hits. Atomizer damage increased by 10%. That is phenomenal. Great to see that. I would love to run energy machine gun builds again. Unfortunately, only the atomizers are getting a little bit of a buff by 10%. So I cannot wait to try those out. Halo Corona Glory damage increased by 10%. That's going to be awesome. I love those old weapons. The main issue and downside running those, once you fire all your shots, the base reload is abysmally slow. If they start tweaking that reload time, then we're really going to be getting into the territory where these become viable again. Ballista Arbalist, funnily enough, I upgraded some of those. I don't know if you guys saw my live stream. I had the the OP Golem, the OP Sniper Golem. It had an Arbalist, a Ballista, and a Prisma on there. It was a ton of fun. So I actually have a set of each of those weapons. So really excited about that. Behemoth changes will appear. So the Behemoth changes were in this past test server. Behemoth can now walk in siege mode. Guys, that is absolutely huge. When I tell you the Behemoth with that new pilot is going to be meta, you could take that to the bank. When that pilot is in siege mode, it is super tanky, it is super durable, and it has 4 heavy weapons available to shoot and tear down the enemies. Not to mention, now it could walk in siege mode. Oh man, guys, just wait. You're going to be seeing meta clans dropping Behemoths at center beacon, getting support from Kepri, getting healed up. You're going to have sirens flying in the sky. It's going to be a whole lot of fun out there on the battlefield. So keep your eyes peeled, guys. So in last week's breaking news episode, I showed you guys a little preview of this. We are getting UI changes where you're able to move the buttons around the screen so they match up better. So you can use multiple hands, multiple fingers, multiple different configurations to suit you best. People have been asking for this in a long time, and it is finally coming in update 7.9. Very excited about this. I actually like the placement of the things in this game. I would just do minor tweaks to it. I wouldn't do huge changes. I'm curious if you're able to change the size of things. That is something I would like. On this little video, it's only showing that you could change the position, but it's not showing that you can change the size of the items. I really like in games where you could change the size of these things. It also helps out a ton. So if you guys are not done working on that and that's something you can add, that would be awesome. That being said, this is it for today's video. I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you learned something. I hope you are able to look at this rebalance through new eyes in a new state of mind. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. It actually opens up a lot of possibilities for alternative builds. You know, in our previous meta rather, it was 2 Revenants, 3 Fafnirs, or 3 Fafnirs, 2 Revenants, one of the 2 combos. And that was it. That's all you saw in high level Champion League. It was very boring. It was very stale. You know, my vision for this game is 5 different robots in the hangar, you know, with 5 very unique different attributes and qualities. Teamwork, you know, that's what I want to see. That's the dream. Hopefully this update will get closer to that. I know people are still going to run, you know, duplicates of things, but if there are so many different awesome viable options out there, more people are likely to use them. So shout out to Pixonic for trying to do something. Leave your feedback on the test server about these things after you try them, after you feel them, after you see them. And also keep in mind it's lower level. So although the Fafnir may feel super slow on there, it won't be as slow once it comes to the live server. I really wish they let us try things on the test server max level. That level 8 stuff doesn't give an accurate representation or feel of how things are actually going to be. So when things really come to the live server, they usually feel completely different than it did on the test server anyway. So all that made sense. I hope some of that connected with you guys. Like I said again, I like to be realistic with things. You know, a lot of the people that are, you know, trashing this game, you know, have an ulterior motive sometimes. You know, they may make content for another game that they're trying to drag you over to, or they're just pandering to your emotions to get your views and your likes and stuff like that. You know, I would never do such a thing like that. You know, I don't believe in that type of thing. Remember, guys, to take this all with a grain of salt. Many of these values will be changed by the time that update does roll around. I'm gonna leave you guys to watch the rest of this gameplay. All these things that we're testing out here, with the exception of the Sonics. The Sonics are not getting any type of rebalance. That's the only thing that I'm running in this hangar. It doesn't. The Punchers are still awesome. Revenant still awesome. Hawk still good. I don't know, you know, the Fafnir, it's definitely slow. Honestly, by the time the update comes, I don't think it's going to catch this heavy of a nerf. I mean, honestly, in the current meta, the way things are changing, the Fafnir is kind of irrelevant anyway. All you need is a Siren with Yang Li, and Fafnir has no chance of life. No chance of life. The second they spawn in, they're dead. The second they spawn in, they're dead. So honestly, the Fafnir really doesn't even need that much of a nerf. I would just nerf down the I would put the limit to 200 for the damage the shield could absorb to multiply your built-in weapon and all that. But other than that, you know, the speed of it, it's just way too slow now. So, you know, it is what it is. And I never thought that I would be defending the Fafnir here, but I am. I really am, because it's a little bit overkill, to be honest. It may be a helpful tool in the future, especially with this new support Titan come out, especially with all the Revenants and stuff like that, and the Kefries. You know, the Kefries can help and make tanky bots even tankier. So sometimes you need that crazy amount of firepower to melt those things down. So I'm just going to leave you guys with that. I appreciate you all so much. I hope everybody has a great day and keep coming back. Also, please don't forget to hit that like button. It helps out tremendously. And we also have a Raz Door giveaway going on right now. So if you guys want to join that, go ahead and check the link in the pinned comment.